Hello everyone, how are you? It's always good to reconnect with the sacredness of the breath, to refresh your mind, body, and spirit. So, sacred water, blessed sacred water to clear the energy, and the sacred oil. I've already put some oil on my scalp, so just put some on my hands. And for those of you who don't know my sacred oil, this is a mixture of extra virgin olive oil, geranium, and rosemary. Sometimes I put a little bit of tea tree oil in it as well. I didn't put any jasmine in this oil. This is some of the stuff that sometimes happens to me. The scent. It's like I did not even put any jasmine essential oil into this concoction, into the sacred oil. But I can smell jasmine for some reason. Yeah, I totally smell jasmine. I don't know if it's because of the mixture of these different essential oils, but I've mixed them before. So, but tonight I can smell jasmine. So sometimes when these scents they get created, I feel that it is the energy of preparing the oil and the energy of the present moment that creates these scents. Sometimes when I feel certain spirits are close to me, like when my aunt passed away, I didn't know that she passed away actually because she passed away in a different country. And suddenly I could smell jasmine while I was going shopping, like a really strong scent of jasmine. And my aunt loved jasmine. She would always put these little jasmine flowers into a little container and put it on her dining table. It's just like as soon as we would walk into her dining room, we could smell the aroma of jasmine just overwhelming our senses in a really good way. So scent and spirit and energy are very connected. And I remember when I was doing healing sessions and I would use certain essential oil and organic oil with prayer to anoint. And when I would leave the room and come back to the room, if the healing session went well and the energies were all in sync and harmonized, when I would walk back into the healing room, the scent that was created in that room was absolutely divine and beautiful and nourishing. It was just like a heavenly smell. Connecting with the breath, connecting with the energy of aloha, life, and our sacred being, our sacred connectiveness. So I invite you to please leave your experience about what is sacred to you. What does healing mean to you? How do you connect to scent? And how your soul gets expressed with scent. As you know, this channel is also a new channel, so your liking and subscribing to this channel would get the message across and it would support me. So I thank you for your support and for your help, and I'll send that energy of support and gratitude back to you. So today I would like to talk about our pain and sorrow again, and I'm smiling as I'm saying it because I'm learning to not to take this world so seriously, and at the same time feeling my feelings without escaping from them. I really feel in majority of societies, doesn't matter if it's East or the West, particularly the Western culture, and those cultures that are affected by the Western culture, that we tend to run away from the pain. So, and I hear this often, oh my God, if you do this, it's going to be so painful. I have to, take these medications because otherwise I'm going to feel so depressed, or I'm going to feel so anxious. I'm talking about emotional pain in here. I'm going to feel so anxious and I'm going to feel so depressed, and I don't want to feel that. Or I'm going to go into the depth and the pit of this depression, and it's so overwhelming. I don't want to go there. I have witnessed people that they get very close to their healing, and suddenly they feel like, oh, they're getting to the root cause of their pain and ache, and they're going into the underground to discover the root cause of their agony, and it's just in that moment that they abandon their treatments, they abandon their healing sessions, because it's just too painful and too dark sometimes. Being afraid of the darkness, being afraid of the unknown, that it's residing within us, the unknown that we wanted to push away, the feeling of claustrophobia, the feeling of things are getting closer and we are suffocating within that space. We want to just stand up and run away from our own internal feelings. So I'm not talking about when somebody is out there to hurt you or harm you or torment you in any way. You have all the right to walk away. But when you're internally going through difficulties such as internal depression, sorrow, anxiety, the only way out of it is going through it, because we need to find out what is it that is causing this depression, this anxiety, this turmoil inside me, and being kind to that, being kind to that aspect, to that child within us, that it's stress, that is frightened, that is petrified, that is traumatized, and finding why is that, where is that coming from. Unless if we don't sit with it, we can't heal it. We have to first find the wound, to tend to the wound. If we want to constantly disown it and put it aside, we can never find the wound to heal it. So the root cause of addictions such as drinking, overworking out and going to gyms all the time, keeping constantly busy to distract, the root cause of it is fear of our feelings and our emotions and our sensations. oh my God, it's gonna be so painful, I can't handle this. And I'm not making fun of it because I've done it myself. I don't want to go there. I don't want to feel those feelings. It's something that we keep on telling ourselves, and we are actually conditioned to be that way. So when a child is in distress, is in emotional pain, what did mothers in the past, and still some mothers now do, just give the child this lollipop or give the child this chocolate bar to distract from the pain. So barely the mother goes there and say like, okay, tell me about your pain. Tell me about your emotional stress. What happened at school? And really sitting there, because mothers are always busy doing so many other things, juggling different things at the same time. You know, back in the days, a woman would have like 5 to 6 kids, and nowadays women are just juggling between work and home and school sometimes, and they're just basically super overwhelmed. And that the emotions and the feeling of their kids get ignored, and a lot of mothers still to this day are suffering from mental illness, so they're not emotionally available, and their child emotions even triggers them and make them feel uncomfortable, so they rather give that lollipop or turn on that terrible TV show and put the kid in front of the computer or the TV to just, you know, discard all those emotions and uncomfortable feeling within the child. So that is a conditioning and teaching for our children that is not okay to sit with your pain and for your emotions and feel the feelings. So a lot of men or even women that are addicted to porn, addicted to constant screen watching, addicted to work, addicted to sex. These are all, you know, sex addicts. Sex addiction is not about sex. It's not. It's about escaping uncomfortable feelings and emotions and feeling that sense of relief. So how can we retrain us back into wholeness, into sitting in the present moment, smelling the essential oil, feeling what it does in our body, sitting with our discomfort. Like right now I have a discomfort and I want to acknowledge that. Even though I'm talking to you, I'm still connected to my body. I feel a bit of discomfort on my shoulders because these days I'm having a lot of responsibilities put on my shoulders. Maybe it's a bit too much. So I acknowledge those sensations, I acknowledge my own feelings, I connect to the heart energy, feeling the feelings. Inhalation and exhalation. I don't try to get rid of the feelings and emotions and an uncomfortable feeling and even the pain that I feel in here. I don't try to get rid of it. I sit with it. I sit with it and I listen to it. Imagine like you're speaking to best friend, someone that you absolutely adore and love. You want to know everything about that person. You want to be there for that person. You want to support that person. So be there for yourself. Be there for the pain and aches without trying to fix it. Let's just be within our own presence as we are, as everything is, without trying to manipulate anything, any joints or pains, without trying to make it better. Just sitting here and feeling and internally listening. Witnessing the breath going in and out of the body. Embrace. Embrace without any expectation that this embrace actually is going to do something. Giving yourself this embrace for the sake of embrace. Feeling your own hands, your own body. Feeling the breath. Feeling the sensations. And when you connect your feelings and sensations, if you're holding your body in tension, you automatically release that tension because you get connected to it. You become aware of it. Yes. So, one of the major causes of addiction, any kinds of addiction, even the acceptable addictions in our society, is the running away from feelings and sensations because we have been conditioned to do so. If mothers right from the get-go would teach their kids, oh, you're feeling sorrow, you're feeling grief, my dear. It's okay. Human beings do feel sorrow and grief. We do feel emotional aches and pains. We do feel heartbreaks. We get betrayed. But it's not to toughen it up, it's to sit with it. Accept our humanity, feel our humanity. We came to this world to be human. We came to this world to feel. We're not doing spiritual bypassing either, even though I do consider myself as a spiritual person. And I sometimes do spiritual bypassing when the pain is absolutely overwhelming and I have no tools within this body, within this realm, to handle it. You know, when the pain of grief comes way too strong, I have spiritual bypass, and for the time being it helped, but I made sure not to make a habit out of it. So even nowadays, when sometimes the grief is so strong, especially after passing my brother, is so strong that I feel that this pain can actually kill me. And right now I'm not feeling that kind of pain, but it sometimes, as they say, grief comes in waves, and sometimes the waves is just way too tall and it just goes like whoosh, and I have no power when it just absolutely engulfs me. So I surrender to the wave. Surrender to the wave, and just at the moment when I feel like I'm so close to dying because of this pain, I actually manage to come back to life because I sit with it. So I don't think that our emotions and our aches and pains are actually going to kill us, as long as we sit with it and we are not petrified and terrified of it. So when it comes, when this overwhelming gush of sorrow and sadness comes, I cry. Tears comes. Tears come, and I sit with it, and I cry. And I hold myself, and I feel my feelings. And it's okay. I'm not going to go go reach for that pill in the closet. I'm not gonna go reach for the drink to make me feel better. I sit with it. I sit with it. I listen to grief. I honor his memory. I remember his eyes. And it's hard. Sometimes it feels like a knife goes right into my stomach and gets twisted. And sometimes I have to figuratively pull that knife out because I know where the wound is, where the wound is pressing at. So I imagine this knife and I go and gently pull this knife out. And I feel that all these gooey pain and sorrow is gently start like oozing out of my stomach. And I breathe again. Acknowledge the energy of my heart. Acknowledge that my heart is also heavy. And my solar plexus sometimes pushes against my heart. And I feel actual heartburn. And I'm not trying to escape from any of these feelings and sensations. They come and they go. They're the messengers. Our pains and aches are messengers. They're showing the way. They're telling us how to attend to our wounds, how to attend to our sorrows, aches, pains. How to even connect to our loved ones that are passed on. This connection is impossible to be severed, so it goes on, it goes on, it goes on forever. So start conditioning yourself back into the wholeness, back to sitting in the sacred space and feeling your feelings and feeling your sensations. You're not gonna die because of your feelings, because of these sensations. Don't be scared of them. They're not your enemies. They come and they go and they show you the way. Allow them. So I'm gonna pull a card in here as I did this last time too. This is the Dear Self Affirmation card deck. It's kind of fun. And it's a practice to getting to know your feelings, getting to know yourself, and how to heal. It's just a tool. It's just a tool. Okay, so I'm going to pull one card in here and let's see what it says. Pleasure. Okay. So, dear self, I'm excited to get to know you better. Let's just bring this light a little bit closer so I can see. You are an ever-evolving life force. And it's been a pleasure watching you expand and become a better version of you. I look forward to observing your future growth. Self, I promise to remind you of the many delightful ways that you shine. You are, so there's a blank space in here. You are and you are. So you can fill those blank spots. Self, you are remarkable. So this is a beautiful card. I don't agree with some aspects of it, that it says you're an ever evolving life force. Well, yes, we are ever evolving, so that's actually interesting. And it's been a pleasure watching you expand and become okay, this part I don't agree with. I do agree with we are ever evolving, but you become a better version of you. I don't like that so much, as if you're not already good enough. I don't want to give that message to anybody, that you're already divine. You are a divine child of universe. You have your inner innate worth just because you're here, just because you're alive in this present moment. I don't care what you've done. I don't care about the shitty stuff that you have done or you didn't do, the stuff that you didn't do. You are divine and you are good. You are innately good, and you are part of this nature. You are the sons and daughters of this universe and this planet and the cosmos. So you don't need to become better. You're already better, and you're already a good, divine human being. And more than that, you're actually multidimensional. When I wanted to actually describe you or describe me, I can't find words, because there's no word that actually can describe us. We are multidimensional. We're not just a body. So it's very difficult to describe human beings and treat them as a project that it's going to improve and become better. But we are definitely ever evolving. Our whole universe is evolving and expanding. And we are this universe. We are part of this universe. We are one with this universe. So we are always evolving. So you can describe yourself if you want to just get closer to understand your essence. So we can use our own limited vocabulary, English vocabulary, or whatever language you speak. So I am beautiful. Yes, you are. I am the divine child of God. Yes, I am. Yes, you are. I don't need to improve myself. I am good and divine as I am. Many people have tried to shame you. Many people have tried to shame me. But I know who I am, and you know who you are. So you may know your truth. This is my wish for you. You may understand your true essence and your truth and the truth of others. We may respect our divine essence and our divine nature to create beauty in this life. Namaste. So these cards for me are inspirational. You don't necessarily need to agree with whatever this card says. but it sort of like awakens a part of you that wants to come out and express itself through the throat chakra, through the sensations, through the intellect, through the energy. So this helps. Since I have the writer's mental block, these cards, they usually help me to write and speak my truth. So the other one, we're going to do that Shamanic card. This is the most interesting Shamanic medicine oracle card. My favorite. So these cards are quite bigger and they're a little bit difficult to shuffle, but I'll try. Guys, did you know that New Year's coming? I'm not sure if it's going to be March 20th or 21st, but first day of spring is actually the beginning of the new year. It has always been throughout the history. Beginning of the spring was the new year of the majority of the people on planet Earth in ancient times. Spring equinox. And I certainly will celebrate that, even though that I'm grieving. I've lost my brother 2 years ago, both my father and my brother 2 years ago, and I'm still grieving, and I don't know how long this grieving will continue, probably for the rest of my life. But at the same time, I am ready after 2 years to celebrate New Year. This spring equinox means a lot to me and my family. All right. Ta-ta! Wow. This card keeps on coming. It's strange. So it's called Death. And transmigration. Here it says death, and underneath it it says transmigration. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. So to me, this is, I mean, it can be actual death, but death has so many different meanings. This is, to me, more, and this keeps on coming up, and this keeps on coming up, is death of an older belief system. For me, I really feel that I need to connect to my innate power. I felt that my power has been stripped out of me. I was so much entrapped within fear, and I was giving way too much power to others. And if something wasn't going well, or if other people would put lots of obstacles around me, or if the society would close its grip, I would feel, suffocated and helpless. And it's like, oh my God, we are losing our freedom. Oh my God, how can we just function in a society that we don't have the freedom of speech, or we are controlled, all our movements is being watched and controlled. And so I was feeling, entrapped, and I felt like I can't express myself. I can't be who I want to be. I can't do what I want to do. So this is showing me that's an old belief system. This is part of our conditioning that needs to drop, for me at least. For me to get connected to who I actually am, to live my life unapologetically and not waiting for somebody else to give me the permission to be who I want to be, and how I want to live my life. So let's find out what is the interpretation of this card according to this booklet. So the first thing, exactly. So the first thing that it says is don't be scared. Of course, this card is about dealing with your fears and dealing with your phobias. So you can stand strong. See how she is standing in her power? The way, the postures. She's confronting the light. She's standing in front of the light and declare her presence. I am here to face it. Face all that I am. So don't be scared, for the death card marks the beginning as well. Death is always a beginning. Okay? Death and birth are not separable. They're always together. Don't be scared, for the death card marks the beginning as well as an end. You have been avoiding letting go for fear of losing something you hold dear. Death appears now to encourage you to surrender. Surrendering is also coming very strongly in my life right now, because I'm trying to a little bit to manipulate things or do things or try to make things work. And the universe keep on telling me that I need to surrender. I need to surrender to it and allow, because universe has its own way to move things. And the more that you struggle, the worse things get sometimes. Sometimes doing is a good idea, sometimes not so much. So we have to use our own discernment. When is a good time for doing and when is a good time to backing off and surrendering. You will not be alone as you move through a portal. Yeah, this picture is showing a portal. It's just ready to go through this portal to get to the other side. So, and I really think that the humanity is also moving to the other side. For fear of losing something you hold dear, death appears now to encourage you to surrender. You will not be alone as you move through a portal into the next and glorious stage of the cycle called life. Once you push through this change and take the first unfamiliar steps of your journey, you will find you have brought everything you need with you. Death encourages you to let go of old patterns, exactly, and behaviors that are no longer welcome, and to take a risk. You need to take a risk. Exactly. Fear has prevented you from experiencing the new life you have been longing for. A shamanic knowledge of the transference of energies enables the skills, knowledge, and wisdom acquired through experience and lessons learned to journey with you. Your guides from the spirit world will remain by your side. I can feel it, and I know every single one of you are supported. Those of you especially that are watching my videos, because we connect. Energy attracts energies. And if you're watching my videos, this is not by coincidence. So you also do have support from the spirit world. Either the support of your relatives, your ancestors that are passed on, or the support of the spirit world in general, or both. They could be relatives that you already knew, or the spirit world that is supporting you. You might never knew them in this 3D and dense world. Spirit world will remain by your side. Transmigration ensures you will emerge wiser and more powerful than ever before as you face change and live behind the old familiar form. So constantly attaching to safety diminishes us, whereas letting go of that fear and connecting to that power and understanding your worth of expanding, it expands your energy, opens your chest, opens your heart chakra, and allows you, gives you the push to go and be who you are and be as expansive as you meant to be. This is not egotistical. It's not egotistical. We didn't come here to shrink. We didn't come here to apologize for our existence. I mean, a lot of other people are going to make us feel that way for their own comfort. But when you know your own feeling, I'm not talking about being arrogant. I'm not talking about being disrespectful and crossing other boundaries. I'm talking about being who you are, respecting yourself and others, and at the same time expanding your energy, because this way you can also be more of service to others. Because if you're just shrinking and squeezing your energy, you can't even be of service to others. You can't be there for others. You don't have the courage to even help others and be there for them and experience this beautiful life. This life is beautiful. Yes, it has a lot of challenges. It has a lot of sorrows. But in the totality, it's a beautiful life. And death is very painful, and I've felt its agony. But at the same time, even death is beautiful, because you can see, you can understand the purity of the soul, and how the soul of that person, your relative, even keeps on communicating with you through the other side. You understand the depth of love, the depth of value of the human spirit. It's so much that I can't say in words. Maybe one day I write a book about it. I don't know, but this is how much I can express and say. But within me, there's just much, much more that words, at least the words that I can think of, they come short. They can't do justice of this beauty that I feel inside. So Transmigration ensures you will emerge wiser and more powerful than ever before as you face change and leave behind the old familiar form. The old familiar form, the form that we have so much identified with. Even my form as a younger person. Well, of course, I'm changing. You know, my appearance is changing. I'm getting older. So you have to let go of that younger you that is actually the old now, and embracing how you're becoming, how your physical appearance is changing as you're getting older. You know, a lot of women, they struggle, they do these plastic surgery, I don't want to judge, but some of the videos that I see on Facebook or on YouTube, it's just quite sad how women, they put silicone balls and they call it breasts. They look like two balls being just stuck in the chest cavity, or just wearing okay, I don't want to really get into that because I don't want to shame anybody here, but I really hope that women would understand their innate worth and value, that beauty is just not physical beauty, and yes, we want, even though that we want to care for our physical appearance, but our physical appearance is not everything. And the more natural and the more human you are, the more beautiful you are, regardless of what the patriarchal culture is trying to tell you, that you need to look certain way. You don't. You really don't. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. Let's just not beg for validations from men. Those men that they're after, that bleach blonde, wig type hair and physiques, they're lost. They're lost themselves. Men that they objectify women and they look at them like candies. Okay, this person has a beautiful voice. Oh, that person has a beautiful ass. This person has beautiful boobs. So one night this and one night that. Now these men are also lost, so we need to have compassion for them. But don't measure your beauty and value by their understanding of beauty. Be who you are. Be comfortable in your own skin. Right? Today I wanted to come in front of the camera with my pajamas. Right? Because it's comfortable. And I'm making this video for those that their energy is in sync with me, and hopefully we all learn not to objectify sacred female energy. And yes, we get old. Yes, we get wrinkles. So I realize that I get a little bit off topic, but this is how it goes. And it's not so much off topic. So it's just shedding of the old, shedding the Hollywood, shedding the objectification of women, to go walk into this space of holding respect for female energy. And when the female energy has respect for herself, the sons that she creates and take care of also exude that respect towards themselves and towards female energy. So healing the feminine energy is really important in healing our world. Let's just support that. So, death revealed. Oh, I can't say this name. Marcus Aurelius believed in the transmigration of souls and the indestructibility of matter. Okay. Pythagorean philosophy taught students of the ascent of the soul towards the one. Pythagorean philosophy taught students of the ascent of the soul towards the one. Okay, I'm going to read this sentence one last time. Hopefully this time I get it correctly. Pythagorean philosophy taught students of the ascent of the soul towards the one. Plato and Socrates implied the relocation from one life body to another. The Druids taught a doctrine of reincarnation and that life knowledge could be passed to another adept or student. Newborns are often recognized as the soul of an ancestor within native tribes and clans. Other divinatory meanings of death is let go and surrender. Your tendency of control does not serve anymore. Yes. Change your perception and see the bigger picture. Everything is working out perfectly. Yes, this is also very important. Like, you know, when our life is not going the way that we want, if, you know, people are not behaving the way that we want, or work is not bringing the prosperity and the wealth that we expect, things are stagnated, you know, the body is just having aches and pains that is inviting us to rest. You know, don't look at these small pictures, look at the bigger pictures. You know, maybe today you need to rest, and maybe this rest bring you a restoration that it will change the bigger picture. Just an example. Or maybe this job that you're in, you get fired out of, and it creates pain and sorrow and aggravation. But maybe in the bigger picture, it would change your life for better. So we never know. So when we surrender to the plan of life, and we so much don't try to control everything and make sure that everything is under control, it's impossible. It's impossible. This life teaches you that majority of stuff are out of your control. So just don't rev your engine too much. Yes, there are a lot of places that you need to do. You need to put your step forward and action is required. But sometimes you need to sit back and surrender to life, to the divine, to care for you, and have trust. Have trust. So, again, let go and surrender. Your tendency for control does not serve anymore. Change your perception and see the bigger picture. Everything is working out perfectly. Familiarity is not a reason to hold on to the old. New life awaits. You are ready to move on. Trust. I didn't see this trust at the end. I already said trust. Yes, so trusting is really important. Trust the life path that you're on. Surrender fears and doubts to me. That speaks. So this is the message. Surrender fears and doubts to me. Transmigration is the key. A new form now waits for you. Death ends the old to start anew. Namaste. That was beautiful. So let me know what you thought of today's video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're going through and what's happening in your life, and if this videos are any help to you at all, or at least they're entertaining, or they can calm your nervous system and help you and assist you in your life path. Namaste, and I will create an email and I leave it down below in the descriptions of my videos soon. I still remember that I said that in my last video. I haven't done it, and I'm going to do it as soon as possible, perhaps by the next video. And I also remember that I promised that I'm gonna do a video about blood pressure, and I haven't forgotten about that, and I will do that as well. Namaste, people. Love and blessings to you. Don't be too hard on yourself, and enjoy life. Talk to you soon.